needle hard impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya, and what he did just learn from Sir Night-Eye in the last part. Now, Midoriya, after speaking with Sir Night-Eye and learning about the foreseeable future or the events he has predicted, he's beginning to try and set them in motion to steer the needle of fate towards the path of the good guys winning. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he and Ochako did begin to talk. After Midoriya did bring Eri to the shield facility. Now, she is kinda confused, looking over at this paper, as she does just ask Midoriya if they can't just talk Bakugo into this. To which Midoriya would explain. Bakugo, he might agree. However, at the same time, there's the chance that he won't do it. And this anti-Venom symbiote that Sir Night-Eye has been talking about, it is drastic. Yes. However, there's also a chance. Explain to her that it can cure Toga. And at that point, she does actually listen to that part, as she just turn around and make a phone call. As we do currently have Bakugo, who is somewhere else at the base. Now, he actually does pick up his phone, as she does ask him if he has toxin. Yeah, I do. Why? Okay, well, her turning around and looking at Midoriya, talking about how she does know something. What? Listen, we just got some information from Sir Night-Eye. Wait, Sir Night-Eye? He hasn't been around in a while. No one's even heard from the guy. Yeah, well, about that. Would you be up for a new symbiote? Another one? Wait, what happened? It's nothing. Now, her turning to Midoriya and saying that this whole thing is going to be quite easy. However, she does want to actually borrow toxin from it, if that would be fine with him. Now, Bakugo has no reason to distrust Ochako, especially since her and him are both somewhat together. Now, Bakugo actually would agree to this, as she would go to meet him. Now, the moment he hands over the symbiote, he does see her memories, and he would just look at her, asking about why. Now, he does pull back his hand, as he does still have half the symbiote in his blood, asking her exactly why is he turning into anti-Venom. Listen, her giving the explanation, as Bakugo does just nod. Now, as this is going on, we do actually have somebody in the background, who they do actually watch these three, the way they're moving throughout the facility, and currently acting. The guy just gave Ochako Uraka, the new agent, toxin. And he does find that this could be his chance, as he does watch all three of them go down to the lab. the person using their credentials to sneak in past or through with Bakugo, Deku, and Ochako. Now, the person here actually would steal a live sample of the Carnage symbiote that the lab does still have. Now, with that, we do actually have Midoriya, Bakugo, and Ochako. As Midoriya does tell Bakugo that this is all going to be very, very, well, dangerous, and asking if he is up for it. Bakugo actually agreeing, as he does bring his hand up, and Venom is beginning to start popping out of his hand, a mass quantity of it. As he does tell Bakugo that if this does not work out, he's going to be very sorry. To which he does just tell Midoriya that if it doesn't work out, then he's gonna crawl out of that barrel and beat the shit out of him once he gets his symbiote back. Now, with that, Midoriya does toss a large portion of carnage of Venom at Bakugo, as the symbiote does begin to try and bond with him. As Bakugo, he does smash downwards directly into the anti-venom serum. Now, with this happening, Midoriya and, well, Ochako do look down, seeing as there are bubbles coming out of the serum, and there's quite a bit of movement. Now, Midoriya is waiting. As the bubbles do eventually stop, Midoriya is going to move down and smash into the drum to knock it over. Now, the very moment Midoriya actually does reach down and go to pick up the drum, he does feel something moving, as anti-venom would jump out and land. Now, Midoriya would just drop the container, as the anti-venom serum would slosh around in the giant thing. Midoriya then turning and looking at Bakugo, as he turns around and sees Agent Anti-Venom. Now, Midoriya does try and talk to Bakugo, thinking that with that piece of his symbiote, he can still communicate with it. Him trying to reach out with this ability. However, Bakugo does just tell Midoriya that this is quite insane. Wait. Midoriya does say, bringing his hand up and trying to recall the symbiote to him. What the hell? What? I can't feel that. I can't feel that part of Venom. What? What are you talking about? I don't understand. It's still Venom, isn't it? Now, Bakugo does try to talk to the symbiote. However, it is quiet. And it does not say a single word. However, it does respond to Bakugo's commands, as he does explain what the symbiote is currently doing. Now, the person who snuck into the lab to take the sample of Carnage, they do quickly leave, after watching Bakugo Katsuki fall in the large container of anti-venom. Now, they do leave the lab, as we do currently have Bakugo, Midoriya, and Ochako, who all do leave the lab facility. Now, whenever they do leave, everybody is staring at the three, as Midoriya and Bakugo are in opposing colors. Everyone quite confused, as Fury himself actually would ask these three what they're currently doing, and what's going on with Bakugo's symbiote. Now, they do try to explain the situation, Fury actually understanding that they just create a new symbiote themselves, and asking exactly what they plan to do with it now. Bakugo trying to explain, and Fury surprised by his answer, as they do head to Toga's cell, where she's being held. Now, we actually do have Fury who does just talk about how this is not going to work. Bakugo actually saying that he does see it. See, she is sick. And he can cure her. He feels it. He can feel the symbiote in her DNA. He can feel it just by looking at her. Now, Midoriya does just go to bring his hand up on Bakugo's shoulder, going to tell him to go in there now. As soon as Midoriya does make physical contact with Bakugo, he immediately pulls back his hand, as he does look down at it. Now, Bakugo does look at Midoriya, as Venom does recover that area of his hand. Ow! That hurt a lot. What the hell? Interesting. I'll have to keep an eye on this. Now, with that being said, Bakugo would head into the cell, along with Midoriya and Ochako. Toga actually getting up and looking over at these three, as she just walk up to Midoriya and simply just say friend. Now, Midoriya would actually sit her down and say yes, he's a friend, and they are here to help her. As Bakugo does bring his hand out onto onto Toga's arm, as the symbiote he currently has on his body does actually begin to start swarming onto Toga, her screaming for it to get away and to stay away from her. However, after covering Toga in a few seconds, the symbiote does pull Carnage out, and what would remain in her bloodstream would just be Toga and trace amounts of anti-venom. Now, after that, Midoriya would watch the symbiote completely return to Bakugo, as he does just talk about how it's done. It's done? Yeah. I got Carnage out of there. As far as I can tell, she's perfectly healthy now. However, she does need some more water. And him saying that she does need to make these changes to her diet. Now, we do have Toga who does look down at her hands, asking if it's gone. To which Midoriya would nod, along with Ochako and Bakugo. Bakugo saying that Carnage can't hurt her anymore. As Toga, she does just simply collapse into her friend's arms. And she's crying, knowing that she is finally free of the symbiote. Now, Toga, she has not improved in her mental state has not improved. She is still, basically, far away from developing herself back to normal. Or at least where she was. However, after S.H.I.E.L.D. does run some tests on her, they do find that there is no trace amounts to Carnage in her blood. And in fact, whatever Bakugo just did returned her back to a normal person. Now, with that being said, S.H.I.E.L.D. then actually does begin to talk about disposing of Carnage. Now, and Toga is actually being considered to be released into custody of her family. Now, Toga, she does actually hear that part, before she does just look back down, and her face goes from at least excited to worried. Now, Midoriya does immediately see that, as he does tell Fury to actually just let him take care of that for right now. Yeah, listen. Her family doesn't know anything about what's been going on. And, well, yeah. Let me take care of this. Let me take care of her for right now. Young man, are you sure that's a good idea? Yeah. She's cured. So, let me take care of it. Okay? Now, Fury would just tell Midoriya that, alright, he can be released, well, she can be released into his custody. However, if he does actually feel carnage, to bring her back here immediately. Him also then at least saying to take some anti-venom just in case. Now, with that, Midoriya, he actually would do this. As Toga, she is released into Midoriya's custody. And then, Midoriya, he would head back home, as we do currently have at the Izuku Midoriya residence, or Inko's apartment, where her and Jiro are actually talking. Her asking Jiro about what happened at her workplace. Oh, that. Yeah, it's a little bit complicated right now. With some of those people still, well, shaken, and then our producer dead, we've been given a few weeks off. Eventually, the studio's gonna try to hire somebody else, but at the same time, a lot of people are quitting. In fact, they're actually joining our rival label. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. No, don't worry about it. In fact, the reason why I really just stay with the label is because it's my family's. We're so connected to it. Oh, I see. Yeah, the pay, it's not really as good, but there's more loyalty there, you know? It's because you actually interact and talk with people. And you don't just play music in a silly little recording booth all day. You actually get to move around and record together, not just alone. That way they can get the better sounds for the instruments, you know? Ah, I see, I see. Now, there's whenever Midoriya's door would open. And Joe does actually walk over and see Midoriya walk through. As he does just say that he's back home. Now, the moment Midoriya does walk through the door, he does actually take a step to the right. As Toga does, shyly walking behind him. Now, Jiro does just see this. As her eyes do widen, asking, what is she doing here? Oh, yeah, about that. What is this? Is is she even allowed to be out? Oh, yeah, we found a way to cure her. That's great. When are you guys gonna do that? We did it earlier today. Huh? Yeah. Uh, Sir Night-Eye sort of came to talk to me. Sir Night-Eye? That name sounds familiar. He's All Might's sidekick, or he was, before he went missing for 5 years. Now he's back. And well, I'm scared. You're scared? Why? Because he just told me about 10 futures that only exist. Sorry, what? Yeah. He told me about 10 futures where humanity even at least has a chance of survival. And in only one of those futures do I live. Oh. That's a lot. Yeah, it is. And he told me what to do to get us there. This was one of them. Oh, um, not to sound like that girl, but is there any chance his predictions have been wrong? No. 100% accuracy, actually. He knew All Might was gonna die. And he was right. He would die within 7 years. They told that to All Might 8 years ago. Oh, that can't be right. Yeah, he told All Might 12 years ago, actually. And ever since then, that's sort of been him. Something that has been eating away at him. Midoriya actually explained to Jiro that he will get to that future. He will find a way to get us there. As he does actually just hug her and tell her that everything's going to be okay. As we do have Inko, who does actually greet Toga. Now, Toga, she actually is looking all around the room. As Inko would walk up and pull her into a hug. Toga just freezing as she doesn't really know what to do. Inko greeting her and saying that it's very nice to meet her, and that she's heard a lot about her before. Now, Toga, she actually does have Inko pull back, and she does see the woman face to face, who has a smile and a warm glow about her. Now, she does then talk about how she must join them for dinner, and about how she can sleep on the couch if she also does need to, and to take whatever time she will need to actually get better. She understands the entire situation. Now, obviously Inko doesn't really know a lot. She does just know that Toga was possessed by Carnage, and that a lot of things after that did happen. Now, with that being said, all of them would sit down for dinner. As Toga, she is eating everything that's set in front of her. And everybody, they do seem to have an awkward feeling around them all. As after that does happen, Midoriya would take a shower and head to his room. As we do have Jiro and Toga, who are all actually sitting down, along with Inko, as they are all sitting down and watching a movie. Toga passing out on the couch and falling asleep, as she would begin to have nightmares. However, Inko and Jiro, they would be there to comfort her and keep her calm as she does sleep. Now, with that being said, let us cut over somewhere else, where the person involved with S.H.I.E.L.D., or the person in S.H.I.E.L.D. that did take the piece of the Karn symbiote, they head over to a place where things are beginning to get prepared. As we do have somebody who does set down the piece of Carnage, right next to another vial that contains a piece of black goo. As a lot of people do look at it, and one of them does begin to spray paint the Grendel symbol, the Grendel symbol, on the wall, as they all do bow down and pray to Carnage. All of them talking about how once they resurrect their god, then nothing will be impossible. As they all do begin to get their plans into place. Two teams heading out to retrieve the bodies of Robbie and Danny. Now, with that being said, I do believe that this is a good point to leave off of. And I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.